Hello and welcome to the session. My name is Yasser and hi everyone who's there. Hi
Yeah,
Martin, how are you? Are
I'm
you?
fine. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah. And how are you? You
I'm
okay?
all right. Thank you.
Okay, so welcome to let's get started. Can you see my screen and hear my voice?
Yes, I can see that.
Hope
Yeah.
you see full screen today. I just special sort things out for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's bigger.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Okay, so welcome today's lecture. We will discuss our final session of assignment discussion. Throughout the past four lectures, we have explored fundamentals concepts of law for accounting. Now it's time to review and consolidate our understanding of these topics before we tackle the assignments. So we will begin by revisiting the key ideas from each lecture, okay, Martin? So basically to refresh our memory and ensure we are well prepared to apply these concepts to our assignments and also refresh your, mind. Then we will discuss in a detailed discussion of the assignment tasks, breaking down each requirement and exploring strategies for effectively addressing them. Uh, Following that, we will turn our attention to the assessment criteria, which outline the standards for achieving a pass, merit, or distinction uh, in the unit. So understanding these criteria will provide clarity on what is expected from our assignments and how we can aim for higher level of achievements. And then finally, we will conclude by touching upon the important topic of plagiarism, discussion what it entails, and emphasizing the importance of proper referencing and maintaining academic integrity. By the end of today's session, hopefully, you'll be well equipped to approach your assignments with confidence, armed with a solid understanding of the concepts, tasks, and assessment criteria. So, yeah, let's get started. Next page. So, important points. Uh, Before I go, to the important points, I will just quickly review, just want to review, you know, previous four lectures. Okay. So our first lecture, uh, give me a second. So here, important points. So in we lecture first, our first lecture, we discussed into the foundational aim of the module, which is to foster a deep understanding of how English law impact both businesses, organizations, and professional uh, accounting practices. So we emphasized the importance of grasping the legal, you know, uh, legal stuff governing these domains to ensure compliance and ethical conduct through the exploration of key legal principles, case studies, and practical applications. Participants are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to navigate the evolving legal landscape effectively. Then there was our second session where we focused on the formation, financing, and administration of companies. We discussed essential terminology related to companies, such as the concept of the veil of incorporation and the distinctions between unincorporated and incorporated entities. So, understanding these fundamentals concept lays the groundwork for comprehending the legal framework surrounding surrounding business organizations. Uh, then, in our third lecture, we explored the intricate relationship between legal principles, legislations, case laws, and ethical codes. We examine characteristics applicable to the accounting profession, criminal offenses related to company operations, and policies for maintaining professional independence. Additionally, we discussed, into the realm of computer misuse and cybercrime, emphasizing the importance of upholding ethical standards in professional practice. Then, in our last lecture, last weekend, we discussed and covered consultation in redundancy situations, exclusions from statutory redundancy pay, the Employment Right Act of 1996, and the duration of copyright. We also discussed the GDRP, or General Data Protection Regulations, and its significance in data protection, as well as the fundamentals of employment law. Important points: specific take and specific organization to start the assignment. So choose a specific organization to base your assignment, presentation, or report on. This will provide a focused context for your analysis and discussion. So begin with an introduction about the chosen company or organizations, provide background information, including its industry size and key operations. Document presentations, use proper heading, subheading to structure your documents, the help in organize your content and making it more readable. Ensure your document is presentable and professional. This include numbering figures and tables to reference them easily within the text. Then assignment presentation, uh, follow the numbering on the assignment presentation as specified in the assignment brief, ensures that you address all required point in the correct order. Uh, then references, uh, Harvard references style, include at least 12 to 15 references to support your analysis and discussion. So these should be from credible sources such as academic journals, books, and reputable websites. Use Harvard referencing style throughout your assignment. So this includes in text citation and references list of the at the end of at the end. Then word count. There are two tasks. Task one, 2,500 words. Count guidelines, provided there is a tolerance limit of 20% uh, plus or minus to accommodate necessary adjustments. So for merit or distinction grades, the assignment report should be a minimum of 3,500 words. Task one report should be around 25 words, and task two report should be around 1,500 words. Any questions so far, Martin? You got it?
Yeah, I just want to check whether these handouts could be sent to us in your presentation, not in the YouTube form. Is it possible to have them as a guide?
In YouTube form, you mean?
No, not in YouTube form,
Yeah,
like in a PowerPoint form.
in a PowerPoint form. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So you mean that? So is it okay if I send you a slides?
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, just
Okay.
as I can use it as a reference point.
Okay. So what you do that? Just email me. So what I'll do that then? Let me finish this one. Then I will
Okay,
discuss you at the end. Okay.
thank you.
So I'll tell you how to do it for referencing. So useful tips focuses on each task and understand the command of verb use. This will help you structure your response appropriately. Command of verb use the following guideline by writing responses based on command verbs. Okay. For example, when he's asking about explain, define, describe, use 100 to 125 words, assess, examine, clarify, analyze, 170 to 25 words, compare, contrast, critically evaluate, up to 300 words. Then we talk about reference system. Ensure your references follow the Harvard style, author, date, and style. So explain for in-text citations. If you see here, Slack, Johnson, Brondon, and then this is within the text, reference style. Uh, Operation management, 7th tradition, Hollow, Pearson education. Uh, uh, this is the complete style of references. Use proper heading, subheading. Make sure your documents look professional and presentable. Ensure the word limit is around 3,500 plus 10%. Finally, plagiarism. I hope you will aware about presentation. Ensure your work or original and similarity index is below 20% to avoid plagiarism issues. There is a assignment declaration, just like a form to fill. So ensure you sign the assignment declaration to confirm that your work is original and adheres to the academic integrity guidelines. Okay. Then, right, now here you can see scenario. You are working in a accountancy firm as as a junior assistant in a department dealing with small and medium-sized businesses. As part of your training, you have been asked to do a initial review of the following cases for the partner, picking at the issues and discussing possible solutions and outcomes. Okay. So basically, you will need to write a report to the partner based on each case. Uh, Citing relevant case laws, your report should cover all relevant legal points, discuss issues of law, and provide an opinion relating to this scenario where appropriate. Okay. So for task one, you can visit or you can look at learning outcome two. Okay. So, client Jody Hart, who has started a new training business, wants advice on a number of issues relating to her business. You must deal with uh, each of the below. So basically, decisions to become a limited company. Jody is trying to decide whether to become a limited company, but does not know what this would involve. Report requirements, analyze the requirement of company law for the formation, financing, and administration of companies. Visit learning outcome for this visit learning outcome 1, 2.1. So then registration, Jody needs to understand the process of registering a company with the company house, include the submission of necessary documents like the if you remember, we discussed in a learning outcome 1 or 2, I think so, memorandum and article of associations. Uh, Also, upon incorporation, the company becomes a separate legal entity, distinct from its owners and directors. Then, explain here, you can explain about financing, uh, share capital, explanation of issues, share to raise capital, the type of shares, ordinary preferences, and their implications, debt, uh, 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 you know, financing using loans or issuing bonds, discuss the pros and cons of equity versus uh, debt finance. So administration, statutory requirement, maintaining statutory book, filling annual returns and financing statements with company's house, compliance, ongoing compliance with company law, including holding annual journal meetings. So, and, maintaining accurate record. Then uh, next requirement is analyze the role and responsibilities of company director, officers, and shareholders. 2.2. Again, learning outcome one. So you can explain role of analyze the and responsibilities of company director, officers, and shareholders when you will company directors acting. You can explain acting in the best interest of the company, avoiding conflict of interest, and exercising independent judgment. Then statutory duties complying with the Companies Act 2006, including promoting this success of the company, ensuring the company's solvency, and maintaining proper, accounting record. Officers, company secretary role is in ensuring compliance with statutory and regulatory requirement, advising the board, and maintaining corporation governance. Then you will talk about some other officers, such as chief financial officer, in managing specific areas of the business. Then you can write about shareholders, right and responsibilities, rights to dividends, voting on major issues, and attending annual journal meetings. Responsibilities include contributing to the company's capital and potential liabilities. Okay. Any questions so far? Good.
Yeah, that's good. So far,
Okay.
good.
Okay. So you understand, I explained part two that you can write about different officers like directors, company secretary, chief financial officers, and shareholders. Okay.
Yeah.
So analyze the requirement of company law for the formation, financing, and administration of companies. Again, learning outcome 2.1. So here we have to cover all the requirements of company formation as per Company Act 2006 and talk about the how is company formed, advantages and disadvantages, administration of companies, including board meeting, record keeping, filling of companies confirmation statement. So refer to learning outcome 2 slides. Again, you can see 11 to 1. So basically, formation of a company under the Companies Act 2006, registration process, you can explain how a company is registered with the company house, including the submission of necessary documents such as memorandum and article of associations. Describe how upon incorporation the companies become a separate legal entity, distinct from its owners and directors. Then advantages and disadvantages. So in advantages, you can talk or you can write about limited liability for shareholders, potential tax benefits, easier to raise capital, perpetual succession. So disadvantages is when we talk about disadvantages, uh, more regulatory requirements, public disclosure of financial information, and higher administrative cost. Okay.
Yes.
So then, what is it? Administration of companies. Board meetings discuss the requirements for holding regular board meetings, the importance of keeping accurate minutes, and the role of the board in decision makings. Record keeping outline the statutory books and record of a company must maintain, including registers of members, directors, and secretaries. Filling requirements explain the annual, fi- if, filing of the company's confirmation statement and accounts with company's house, and the consequences of non-compliance. So you can refer to learning outcome to slides 11 to 21 for more detailed guidance on the requirement of company law for the formation, financing, and administration of companies. And you can visit some you can look you can visit slides 11 to 21, but you also can get some related books on your learning management systems. And also you can get online Company Act 2006. Okay, Martin, this is available on the net.
Okay.
Okay. This will, if you will, search for a Company Act 2006, this will take you to the government website. Okay, government something.gov. So this is available. Complete Company Act 2006 is available there. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to read that. This is a very good one as well. Then next, analyze the role and responsibilities of company directors, officers, and shareholders. Again, as you know, companies directors acting in the best interest of the companies, avoiding conflicts of interest, and exercising independence judgment. Uh, uh, Statutory duties complying with the Companies Act 2006, including promoting the success of the company, ensuring the company's solvency, and maintaining proper accounting record. Officers, again, company secretary and also chief financial officers. Uh, Company secretary ensuring compliance with statutory and regulatory requirement, advising the board and maintaining corporate governance. Again, here you can talk about other officers like uh, uh, a chief financial officer is in managing specific area in the business. Uh, Shareholders' right and responsibilities, rights to dividend, voting on major issues, and attending annual general meetings. Responsibilities include contributing to the company's capital and potential liabilities. You can refer here to learning outcome, two presentation slides, 22 to 26 for more information on the roles and responsibilities of company directors, officers, and shareholders. So for further reading, you can consult the company's house blog on the role of company's director, duties of company director. So you can visit this. Can you, see link, open that
See
link?
the link,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So is this is a,
2019
yeah,
blockage.
yeah. It's basically, we are obviously, uh, or our, we are discussing mixture of different kind of stuff. But I will suggest you that you must read, Company Act 2006. It's a very interesting and very useful, very good one. Okay.
Okay.
So even if you might have a Company Act 2006 on your, I'm not sure, but learning Moodle. But if not, what you do that buy a small book related to Company Acts and try to read whenever you get chance.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very, very good one. Okay, so distinction, sorry, to gain a distinction, your report must analyze aspect of capital maintenance. So basically, to analyze aspect of capital maintenance, like a share capital of a company, capital as a creditor buffer, discuss how share capital act as a buffer for creditors, ensuring that companies maintains a certain level of financial stability, Then roles on capital maintenance, preventing capital reductions, explain the rules preventing companies from reducing its capital by returning it to its members directly or indirectly. Then reduction of capital under Section 641 Company Act 2006, canceling liabilities, reduce or cancel liabilities on partially paid shares, returning excess capital, return capital in excess of the company's needs by repaying shareholders, then cancel the paid up capital that is no legal represented by the assets. So cancel such as write off a debt balance on reserves to make good, past losses. So again, you can refer learning outcome to presentation slides 31 to 43 for a detailed discussion on the maintenance of capital and uh, its implications. Okay. Now, next one, second one scenario on the August 11th, Jody asked her brother, any question related previous task? All good?
No, that's so far so good. Thank you.
Okay. So on the 11th of August, Judy asked her brother John, who was not part of the business but helping out to approach a small businesses in the town. So where they lived, that was a closing down. John was to tell them that Jody was, interested in buying their office furniture and equipment for £1,000, but needed to collect it and move it to her own office premises by the 25th of August. So the owner, Harry Parker, says he will think about it. Okay. Then on the 14th of August, Harry sees John in a local coffee shop and says that he would like to sell the furniture and equipment, but that he won't be able to part with it until the 31st of August when he can deliver it to Jodie's office. So John says this will be fine. Jodie then sends Harry an email saying she has changed her mind as her uncle has given her some office furniture and equipment. Harry writes back saying that they have a contract and that he will be delivering everything on the 31st and will expect payment. Using this scenario, write a section of your report about the elements of contracts and agency relationships to advise. So basically, you will write your own observation and opinion, but requirements of report analyze the element and nature of contractual agreements. Okay. uh, you will you will will go you will work through this a scenario, but obviously you will discuss everything like analyze the elements and nature of contractual agreements, explain the principle of agency and their importance on businesses practices. So analyze the nature of contractual agreement. Session. This is session 1.1. That refer to presentation slides. Learning outcome 1, page 9 to 6. So uh, elements of a contract like offer and acceptance outline how an offer must be clearly communicated and accepted without modifications. Considerations explain the necessity of consideration, which refers to something of value exchange between the parties. Intention to create legal relations, discuss the need for parties to intend their agreement to be legal binding. So capacity define the you understand, Martin, that you can use these things within a given scenario. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, like you can explain to Jody that under the contract law is saying that this conditions are, and define the requirement that parties must have the legal capacity to enter into a contract. Okay,
Yeah.
so ensure that contracts terms and purpose are legal. So again, you refer to learning outcome one presentation slides 9 to 16 for more details on the elements and nature of contractual agreements. Then explain the principle of agency and their impact on business practices. 1.2. So principle of agency, definition of agency, describe the agency relationship where one party, like agent, is authorized to act on behalf of another, uh, 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 like, the principle. So authority of agents distinguish between actual, apparent and implied authority. Duties of agent and principles outline the main duties of agent to act in the principal's best interest, and then and the principal duties to provide compensation and indemnity. uh, Refer to learning outcome one presentation slides 17 to 22 for more information on the principle of agency.
Yeah.
So to merit your report, assess the validity of the contract, refer to presentation slides. So validity of the contract, assess the, to get merit, assess the validity of the contract, agreement, discuss whether a clear offer and acceptance were present, considerations analyzed if the promise to pay, how much was it? Yeah, £1,000 for the furniture constitutes valid considerations.
Mm.
Intention and capacity, evaluate it. Both parties had the intention to create legal relations and the capacity to contract. Communication, assess if the communication between John and Harry formed a legally binding contract. Refer to, again, learning outcome one. Yeah, slides 28 to 23, okay,
Yeah.
for assessing contract validity. For distinctions, you will go a bit, more in more detail. Evaluate the implication of agency relationship for principals and the agent. Principal agent relationships, roles and responsibility. Discuss the roles of Jody as the principal, and John as the agent and Harry as the third party. Implications for the principal. Evaluate how Jody as the principal uh, uh, is bound by the actions of John, her agent, especially regarding the formation of the contract with Harry. Implications for the agent. Discuss John's responsibility to act in Jodi's best interest and the potential conflicts of interest. Implication for the third party. Consider Harry's position and his reliance on the agent's authority. So, refer to learning outcome one, slides 30 to 32 for the implications of the agency relationships. So Jody is a principal, John is the agent acting as behalf of her sister, and then Harry is the seller.
Mm.
Uh, Here, Jody is concerned about information and intellectual property in her business. She keeps personal details of trainees and has a large amount of training materials produced by her and her employees. She wants advice on the law relating to data protection and intellectual property, intellectual property. So, your report must analyze the requirement of data protection legislations and then explain how intellectual properties can be protected. So this is a session 4.1 and 4.2. So when we talk about analyze the requirement of data protection legislation, uh, data processing principle outline the sixth principle is data processing under GDPR or data protection regulations, lawfulness, fairness and transparency, purpose, limitations, data minimization, accuracy, storage limitations, integrity and confidentiality. So lawful based for processing discuss the conditions under the under which personal data can be legally proceed, such as consent, contract, necessity, legal obligations, vital interest, public task, and legitimate interest. A right of data subjects describe the right granted of individuals, including the right to be informed, right of access, right to rectifications, right to restrict processing, right to data portability, right to objects, right related to automated decisions making and profiling. You also can, talk about data security, explain the measures that need to be in place to protect personal data from authorized access, accidental loss, destructions, or damage. Data breach and data breach notification, data protection officer. I explain when an organization needs to appoint data protection officer for their responsibilities, data breach notification, discuss the requirements for reporting data breaches to the supervisory authority and in certain cases to the data subjects. Uh, Refer to learning outcome two presentations. Uh, Slides 4 to 13 for detailed guidance and data protection legislations. So you can visit also website here as well. Uh, this is I think so. This is for intellectual property. I'll go further. Yeah, you can visit. You can look at learning outcome for page 14 to 25. So first we'll go for a what is it called here? Contextualize the answer, the relation to Jody companies and tailoring training material is covered by copyright. So this is now he's talking about the types of intellectual property protections. Okay. So intellectual property, that original works protects original works for, authorship, such as literacy, dramatic, musical, and artistic work. So training material produced by Jodi and her employees would be protected under copyright law. Trademark, protects symbols, names, and slogans used to identify goods or services. So advise Jodi on registering a trademark for her business name or logo. Uh, Patents protect inventions that are new, useful, and are non-obvious. Discuss the relevance of patents if Jody developed any unique training methods or tools. Trade secrets protects confidential business information that provide a competitive edge. So outline measures to protect training materials and client lists as trade sector. Then contextualization for Jodi's company, copyright protection for training material. Explain that Jodi's training material are automatically protected by copyright from the moment of creation, but registering them can provide additional legal benefits. Advice on making material with the copy right notice and using contracts to specify ownership for work created by employees. Uh, s- Practical steps recommended: implementing confidentiality agreements and access controls to protect sensitive information. So again, refer to LO4 presentation slides 14 to 25 and the intellectual property, uh, you know, organizations guidelines or on protecting educational and training, intellectual property office guidelines or protecting educational and training materials for more information. Okay, so uh, can you hear me, Martin? All is good?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so to gain a merit, your report must, important of intellectual property right, business value. Your report must assess the importance of intellectual property rights to business. So business value intellectual property can be a significant assets providing competitive advantages and revenue streams through licensing of sale, legal protections, secure the company's innovations and creations from unauthorized use by competitors, market positioning, strong IP protections can enhance the company's reputation and brand value, valuing intellectual property methodology, cost brand valuation, market-based, valuation, use comparable market uh, transactions to determine value, income-based valuations, project future earnings attributable to the IP based on historical data and expected futures performance. So, to refer to again, it's not here, but learning outcome for presentation slides 35 and to 43. Anyway, 35 to 43 uh, for a detailed discussion on, valuing intellectual property. Right. So one of Jodi's employee caused a fire at uh, a training event by using electrical equipment that was not properly checked. Several properly suffered minor injuries. They are trying to sue Jodi for compensation. Judy immediately dismisses the employees, use the scenario to discuss the law of tort and remedies available, and discuss the employment law relating to employment contracts and termination. So report required to explain the law of tort and the remedies available. So elements of tort law: duty of care. Jody as an employer has a duty of to ensure the safety of our trainees and employees. These are key points. Okay, Martin.
Yeah.
So breach of duty. Duty is how the failure to properly check the equipment constitutes a breach of duty. Then cautions: establish a direct link between the breach of duty and the injuries suffered by the trainees. Uh, then damages, uh, explain the type of damages compensatory uh, that the injured parties may seek. So remedies in tort law, this was your question previously as well, if you remember,
Yes.
remedies. So remedies mean compensatory damage,
Mm.
cover medical expenses, lost
Mm.
wage and pain and suffering, injunctions like a court order to prevent further harm, negligence claim, advice on the process and implications of a negligence claim against Jordy's business. So refer, to presentation slides 23 to 27
Mm.
for more information on tort law and remedies. Also, next is assess the impact of legislations relating to employment. So, employment contracts, terms and conditions outline the essential terms that should be included in an employment contract, such as job duties, salary, working hours. Employed terms discuss employed terms such as the duty of mutual trust and confidence and the duty to provide a safe working environment. Termination of employment, dismissal procedure, explain the proper procedure for dismissal and employ including provide notice and following disciplinary procedure. Then you can talk about unfair dismissal, assess whether Jody's immediate dismissal of the employer was lawful or if it could be deemed unfair. So this is a very interesting point. Okay, so uh, discuss the employee's right to challenge the dismissal and health and safety legislation, discuss the employee's obligations under health and safety laws to prevent workplace accidents and the potential liabilities for failing to comply. So refer learning outcome one again, our first session presentation slides 26 to 41 for more information on employment law and termination procedures. So that's it. That was our task first. Now task two, Day Loan Limited, a small loan company, is insolvent. Uh, they own a number of assets which are subject to fixed and floating charges and owe a large amount of corporation tax. Uh, Additionally, they are being investigated for money laundering and other offenses, including poor lending practices, bribing government officials, and gaining unauthorized access to computers. Uh, they have failed to comply with legislations and guidelines on responsible lending. So your report must explain the process of insolvency for business organizations, analyze the relationship between legal principle, legislation, case laws, and ethical codes, explain the elements and consequences of malpractice, fraud, bribery in business organizations, explain offenses and penalties related to money laundering, and explain offenses and penalties related to computer misuse and cyber crimes. Uh, so in insolvency procedure, like the bankruptcy, discuss the procedure of bankruptcy for individuals and partnership, including the appointment of a trustee, realization of assets and distribution of procedure of creditors, company voluntary agreement, explain how to voluntary agreement allows a company to make a proposal to its creditor for the debts. Then you can administration outline the procedure for placing a company into administration to protect it, from creditors while restructuring or selling assets. So for this one, you can use learning outcome 2, presentation 27 to 32 for detailed guidelines on insolvency procedures, analyze the relationship between legal principle, legislation, case law, and ethical codes. Then we talk about legal what is it? Yeah, legal principle legislations. Company law discuss the legal framework governing the formation, operation, and discussion of companies, including directors' duties and shareholders' rights. Insolvency law analyze the statutes and regulations governing insolvency proceeding, such as the Insolvency Act, which is, I believe, it's a 1986 and subsequent amendments. You can look at case laws, examine relevant court decisions that have shaped the interpretation and application of insolvency law. Uh, Ethical considerations. Uh, Responsible lending evaluate day loan limited companies with ethical guidelines on responsible lending and the consequences of poor lending practices on borrowing and the financial system. So refer, learning outcome 3 presentation slides 4 to 16 for a, comprehensive analysis of legal principles, legislations, case law, and ethical considerations. Explain the elements and consequences of malpractice, fraud, bribery in businesses, organizations. Malpractices and fraud, poor lending practices. Discuss the consequences of in irresponsible lending, such as predatory lending practices and excessive interest rate. Then we talk about bribery. Explain the legal prohibitions against offering bribes to government officials or competitors to gain an unfair advantages. Consequences, you can talk about consequences, assess day loan limited potential legal liability for malpractice, fraud, and bribery, including civil and criminal penalties, reputational damage. Discuss the importance of unethical behavior on the company's reputation and relationships with stakeholders. Uh, you can, here you can look at learning outcome 3 presentation slides 17 to 14 for a detailed explanation of malpractice, fraud, and bribery in business organization. Uh, then explain offenses and penalties related to money laundering. So money laundering offenses define money laundering and its various forms such as placement, layering, and integration. Legislation also discuss the legal framework governing money laundering offenses, including the Proceeds of Crime Act uh, 2002 and the money laundering regulations. Also, you can talk about penalties, explain the criminal penalties for money laundering, including fine and imprisonment. So refer to, learning outcome 2 presentation slides 25 to 30 for an explanation of money laundering offenses and penalties. The last one explain offenses and penalties related to computer misuse and cyber crimes. So uh, explain, the legal prohibition against unauthorized access to computer system, including hacking and data breaches, uh, uh, cyber attacks. Discuss the criminalization of creating, distributing, or using, malware for malicious purposes. You can talk about penalties as well. Explain the penalties for computer misuse offenses, including fines and imprisonments. So refer to learning outcome 3 presentation slides 31 to 42 for an explanation of computer misuse offenses and penalties. Okay, uh, all good, Martin. Any question so far?
That's good. Thank you.
Okay, so to gain a merit, your report must uh, advise on insolvency process for a given situations. So basically, bankruptcy advise on the implications and process of declaration bankruptcy uh, for day loan limited, including the impact on assets and liabilities. Debts relief order or DRO, you can see here. Explain the eligibility criteria and consequences of applying for a DRO as an alternative to bankruptcy, individual voluntary arrangement, uh, uh, discuss the benefit and drawbacks or entering into a IVA or individual voluntary arrangements to manage debts repayment while avoiding bankruptcy. So insolvency help provide guidance on seeking professional advice and assistance from insolvency practitioners for restructuring debts and managing financial obligations. So refer to learning outcome 2 presentation slides 33 to 34 for detailed advice on the insolvency process and available options. That's it for today. Refer to ebooks, journals. As I said, you can uh, get some material on your learning Moodles. Include a list of, when you give reference, make sure that include a list of all sources cited in your assignment. At the end, arranged alphabetically by the author's last name. For books, include the author's name, publication years, title, publisher, and place of publications. Journals, articles include the author's name, publication year, article title, volume number if available, like that. Then consistency, maintain consistency in formatting throughout your reference list using the same style for all entries. I was just talking about plagiarism. As I said, plagiarism is the act of using someone else's work, ideas, or work without proper acknowledgement or permission and presenting, them as one's own. So it can take various forms, including direct plagiarism, like a copying and paste, then paraphrasing plagiarism, rewording someone else's ideas or text without proper attributing the original source. Self-plagiarism, reusing one's own previously submitted work without proper citation. So plagiarism undermines academic integrity and honesty as it misrepresents the originality and effort put into academic work. Uh, it also violates ethical standards by failing to give credit to the original authors or creators. Uh, to ensure your submission meet the requirement and it's presented in the proper format, uh, prepare your assignment document using Microsoft Word or another word processing software. Format your documents according to academic standards, including a clear title page with your name, uh, course details, assignment title, and submission date. Organize your assignment into sections corresponding to each task with clear heading and subheading for easy navigation. Write in a clear, concise manner, providing through explanation and using appropriate language and terminology. Include practical examples, calculations, and references are needed to support, your arguments and demonstrate your understanding of the concept. Ensures proper citation and referencing using the Harvard reference system for all sources using in your assignment. Proofread your documents carefully to check for any errors in grammar, spelling, or formatting. Save your documents as a window file or PDF for submissions. So finally, once your assignment document is ready, you can submit it via the online Moodle platform. So I believe by following these steps and adhering to the specified format and submission guidelines, you can ensure that your assignment is well presented and meet the requirement for, submission. So that's it for today. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, so thanks very much, Martin. And this was our last session, and thank you very much for joining me today's. You can start to your assignment now, and you have 2 weeks for submission. So any question, concerns, or issues, you can drop me an email at yasser@ukversity.co.uk. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin, and I'll see you. Well, I wouldn't see you, but you can drop me an email at yasir@ukversity.uk.co.uk. Okay.
No problem.
And
Thank
thank
you
you very
very much.
much, and bye for now, and have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you very much.